Now, before I go rampaging on to the next tool, just want you to keep in mind that the whole point of looking at all of these editing tools is that you have to think in terms of which are the most appropriate tools to use to arrive at the elements and the shapes that you need. And this is one thing that I can't help you with very much because it depends entirely on what you intend to draw. So you need to be aware of all of these tools, both the solid creation tools and the editing tools, and there are more to come, in order to achieve the results that you need, which is why you need to practice. And you need to look through these tools every now and again just to remain familiar. Anyway, on to the next tool. And these are Boolean tools, which you used briefly in the Level 2 course, but we'll take a very quick look to start with before looking in more detail at each of the tools. What Boolean tools do is to either unite, find intersections, or find subtractions, in this case of solids. So for example, here we have two separate solids. We have a slab and we have a cylinder. They're interacting with each other, but they are separate at this point. I'm starting the first Boolean tool, which is unite. So if I select the first solid and the second solid and data point in the view, this is now a single solid. Let me undo that. If we go to the intersect tool, then I'm finding the intersection between these two separate solids. So for example, that one and that one, that's the result. There are more results to this, but we'll look at this in a second. Going back to that. And the third tool is subtract solids. So if I want to subtract the red solid from the green solid, then I select that first and I select that second, and that's the result. I've subtracted. Now these are three very important tools, and you will tend to use these quite a lot. So let's talk about the Unite tool first, and look at the tool settings window. We get just one setting, which is keeping originals. None at the moment, but we can keep all of the original elements, or we can keep the first one that we select, or we can keep the last one that we select. If we have none, Control Z back to the two originals. If we unite these two, then it's one single element again. I can move that and it's one single. Let's put that back and back to that. Try the tool again. Let's now keep all. Do the same thing again, that one and that one. Now it looks as though they're still together, but if I take this and move it away, you will see that we do have separate elements, and these were the original two elements that we used. And this is the result of the unite, the one single element. So we've kept the two originals. Undo both of those. And then obviously the remaining options is keeping the first one you select or keeping this last one. You can try that on your own. The important point here with all the Boolean tools is that the second selection works on the first selection. So in this case, I've been selecting the slab first and the cylinder second, meaning that the cylinder will act upon the slab. But we could reverse it, and you'll see more of that as we look at the other two options in more detail.